All right, welcome. This is an at-home workout program, and just like it sounds, this is for anyone with a home gym, condo gym, apartment gym, a gym with minimal equipment. They want the convenience of training where they are, but then the structure and consistency of following a good, optimal training program. So, the pieces of equipment I'm looking for to follow this program perfectly, again, you can modify things. You can reach out if you have a cable machine or a squat rack instead of some of this stuff. But I'm looking for 5 pieces of equipment to follow this program really cleanly. That would be a yoga mat, resistance bands, a suspension strap, that's like a TRX would be the brand name, and then some dumbbells and an adjustable bench. So still, it's not a full gym. If you have a full gym, if you have access to that, you could jump on a different program. Just reach out to me where you are on that spectrum of equipment. But if you have those 5 pieces or close enough, then follow this program. It's, again, just going to add some consistency, some optimization to your workout routine. So I'm going to jump right into it. I'll have the program pop up here, hopefully, and you can take a look for yourself. If you want the PDF or to follow along the program, stay to the end. I'll plug my website, and you can check out more videos and more programs. But if you look at this program closely, you're going to see you have 2 options of how to follow this program. You can follow it vertically, which would be 3 days a week of training, or you could follow the program horizontally, which would be 4 days a week of training. So that's the first question you have to ask yourself. Do I want a little shorter exercises or workouts 4 days a week, or do I want a little longer workouts 3 days a week? The second question you have to ask is, what are you more comfortable with? What do you want to do? Kind of, how are you going to do it in conjunction with your other training? Are you okay with 3 full body lifts a week? Or would you rather do 4 body part splits? So that's muscle groups. As you can tell, if you follow it horizontally, you'll do day 1 push, day 2 pull, day 3 legs, and day 4 conditioning. That's horizontally. That's called a body part split or muscle group split. Versus vertically, those are all full body. Full body day 1, day 2, day 3. Now, I'm going to explain all the exercises, the set rep scheme, the rest, all of that, as if you're doing the 3 days a week, full body, full body, full body. But just understand, you know the exercises stay the same. So even though I'm going to start out with pike push-ups for day 1, then I'm going to do pull-ups, lunges, press. If you're on day 1, you'll do pike push-ups, shoulder press, tricep extension if you're doing day 1 push. So you're going horizontally if you do choose. And if you have any questions, just reach out to me. But understand, I'm going to do full body day 1, day 2, day 3, but the exercises stay the same. So stay tuned, understand that, the sets and the reps and all that. So we're going to jump right into it. Pike push-ups, just like it sounds. It's a push-up where you're piking at the top. This is really good for anyone who needs to do elevated push-ups or kneeling push-up. It lends itself to those 2 types of push-ups. But if you are advanced enough that you can knock out 15 push-ups on the ground, normal planked push-ups, then go ahead. You could always wear a weighted vest for these push-ups. But the rep range is 8 to 15. And again, this is on full body day 1. I'll just show you the pike push-ups here. This is if you need an elevated surface. You'll pike back, you'll get this nice full glute hamstring stretch. You'll pike forward and you'll drop and touch the chest. What this really helps with on push-ups is coming here low and loading the chest, not out here loading all shoulders. So that's pike push-up. You're going to do 8 to 15. I'm showing it elevated. If you don't have boxes, you can put your hands on a bench. You can move a barbell down if you have a barbell. A ton of different, on the back of a couch, on the front of the couch, on an ottoman, however you need to do these at-home elevated push-ups. Or if you know you can get 15, it's just too easy, work your way down. Go ahead, just do normal push-ups. And then the nice thing is doing ground push-ups. Hopefully it stays tracking my face here. You'll pike back, you load the legs, you pike forward, and you press. 15 of these, especially if you have a weighted vest especially if you're doing it through the full range of motion, will really get that upper chest. So it's nice to do pike push-ups. You don't have to do those. You could just do push-ups in general. But it's full body. So we just did a push. Now we're going to throw in a pull. So we're going to do 8 to 15 reps of pull-ups for day one. You can do, I have TRX assisted pull-ups. Let's clip this on here. And it looks something like this. Push the hips back, drop, and pull. Drop and pull. Two things people do wrong here is they turn it into a row. I'm going to put the mic here. Hopefully it will still catch me. They turn it into a row, which is they just lean back too much. There's nothing wrong with this. You're hitting pretty much the same muscle groups almost. But we're going to do rows in the other days. So why double up on row? Try to get that elongated lat position by keeping your torso vertical and dropping your hips straight down. Then we get that nice stretch. I don't care where your shoulders are the whole time you're doing this. They can be anywhere at the top. Finish them back and down. We get that nice contraction of the lat. And then the second thing a lot of people do wrong on TRX pull-ups is they just put their feet too far back. And so it almost gives you this quad workout because you're just squatting assisted squats rather than put those toes right up to the door, drop your hips and pull yourself up with the arms. Don't stand yourself up with the legs. So now you've done pike push-ups, 1 set. You've done 1 set of TRX pull-ups. Then you're going to do lunges in deadlift to press. But just to explain the rest here, I like to be a little intuitive. When I know I can hit the same reps as set before, then I start. So that could be anywhere between, I do push-ups, I wait 15 seconds, I do pull-ups. If you want to cardio circuit it a little bit, you could do less rep. If you want to get that nice stress in the muscles and treat this like resistance training, then rest longer. Almost, I would say 90 seconds, 60 seconds where you do push-ups, 60 seconds pull-ups, 60-second lunges. Now, I'll just show you the lunges. It's TRX lunges. All it looks like is this. You're holding the TRX and you're dropping down and using the TRX to pull you out of that sticking position. You have this balance, so when you drop and reach this leg down for the lunge, the nice thing is it won't allow you to cave and drop this hip. Hopefully you have that balance and you can use the TRX to keep that hip high, which really fires up this hip stabilizer, that glute med on the other side, so you can do perfect form lunges. If you're confused even how to do pull-ups, push-ups, and lunges, then this isn't the program for you. This should be advanced, or at least I want you to be able to progress it to advanced by the end. But if you're questioning your form and you don't think it's a simple question of, hey Lex, you send me a video and I fix it. If you're like, what does he mean by scaps or shoulder blades backing down? Then you need to start on a different program. And I have the programs for you. So just a little caveat there. Just a little warning that, again, I'm not going to describe how to do all these in depth, the form. So you gotta know how to do some of these. Now, the last exercise in full body day one is deadlift to press. Again, hopefully you know how to press. Hopefully you know how to deadlift correctly. It's actually going to be more of a squat deadlift with these dumbbells than a deadlift itself. So a deadlift would look like this. I like to load the legs a little bit more, so I drop my butt down way more like I'm squatting. So just to watch that from the front, I take a narrow stance so I don't have to be worried about the dumbbells hitting my knees. Narrow stance, toes pointed out, grip the ground with the feet, hips back, chest forward. I drop my hips, I stand up, I curl and press. Now, if you use your legs right, you will not even have to curl. Momentum of your squat will get you here, and then you press up. Go as heavy as you can, that you know you can get the 6 to 10 reps without ever once having to arch the back and flare the ribs for the press. That you could keep the core tight, You squeeze the glutes, squeeze the abs, and you can press up with perfect form. And again, you should know this, but a shoulder press isn't here. It's not here. It's right in between those. You press up and back. It doesn't finish in front of you. It finishes in line with that spine. If you have big questions about form, either A, this isn't the program for you, or reach out and we'll work on it together. So that's day one. We've already cruised through it. You're going to do one set through, and then you have the option to do 3 to 4 more sets. And then at the end of each set, take a full rest. So even if you're doing a cardio circuit, pike push-ups, pull-ups, lunges, deadlift to press, even if you're circuiting that real quick, take 2 minutes, 90 seconds, and rest. Just so you can get some quality reps in. It is a resistance training. If you want to do cardio, go do cardio. If you want a resistance training, want to weightlift, then weightlift and rest. So that's day one. We're going to move on to day two. Day two starts with shoulder press. And again, remember, I'm following it vertically. Reach out to me if you have questions of how to follow it in a push-pull legs conditioning split. So day two is shoulder press. Again, same thing goes for shoulder press. Tight core, big chest, shoulder blades back and down. We're not out here. We're not in here. Pressing up and back. Nice and heavy. It's your first exercise in this circuit. Again, 15 reps where you don't have to, if you have to drive through your knees, I don't care because that's still you controlling it down in form. But if you have to flare the ribs and arch to press it up or it's getting in front of you, then you know it's too much weight. So shoulder press, 10 to 15 reps. Band pull down. If you have a TRX, then you have a door anchor and you can put some bands through it. There's so many different ways to do this. I put in pull down. That makes you think that it's going to be a vertical pull, but I'm just saying that so that way you have the door anchor high or the attachment for the pull downs high on a squat rack, however you want, or a cable machine is high. But when you go to do it, you feel free to almost row it. Lean back and row it. It's totally fine if the line of pull is coming perpendicular to your lats rather than vertical. You already did vertical the day before on day one, a vertical pull. Feel free to do a horizontal pull here. So pretend this TRX is bands. I would just sit with it here and it's bands and I just pull double arm pull downs. So you do 15 reps. I don't even care if that gets up to 20. It totally depends on how you do the resistance for the bands. I'm not going to show you how to do that. I feel like you're going to figure it out based on your gym setup, what bands you have. So, or if you have cables or whatever, it totally depends anyways. Just know you can go heavy. You can get your body weight into it, lean there. And then again, I don't care where your shoulders are. They got to finish down and back at the bottom. Goblet squat, nice and easy. If you don't know how to squat, this should be Squatting 101 should be covered in a different program. I have that program. If you have questions about your squat, please reach out or follow for 3 weeks one of my build-up programs, my Squat 101 programs. But again, tight core, big breath. I'm holding a weight. I take a little wider stance than my deadlift. Soft knees, hips back, chest forward, and then I drop my butt between my heels, remaining with tripod foot pressure the whole time. That's proportional pressure in the front of the foot and the back of the foot. So that's goblet squat. And then the last one, shot put press. I'll clip this on. You're going to take that band, any band or any cable, and just do a low anchor position. You're going to stand perpendicular to it. I don't know if you can see my feet. My outside foot, I slightly turn out. In my back foot, I pivot through this punch. That will get my hips to turn this way, and I won't spin through my spine. So I'm in my squat position. Hips are back, chest is forward. The band remains at midline. I pivot the back foot, tight core and press. Catching the squat. Stand up, press. Stand up, press. Go as heavy as you want, that you can get 8 reps where the band never pulls you back neutral, past midline. You know you're going too hard if you punch and it pulls you to here. You have to have such a strong core that you punch your shot put and control it back down to midline. So that's shot put press. It should be more legs and abs. It looks like upper body, it's not. I want it legs and abs. So that's day 2. Again, 4 exercises. You're following it. Shoulder press, pull downs, goblet squat, press. You're going to run through that for 3 to 4 sets, resting in between the sets. The last exercise, the last circuit is a lot different just because it's the auxiliary day. So it's the last exercise if you're going to do body part splits. So it has 2 exercises and they're supersetted together. So really, you're going to do 2 exercises, rest a little bit, 2 exercises, rest, 2 exercises, rest, and then a cardio or a conditioning exercise. And you're going to run through that a bunch. So day 3 has a ton of different exercises. It just covers all our bases. It makes sure there's no stone unturned. We've hit every single muscle group and we've burnt everything out. So just to show you, we're going to start with chest flies. I don't care. I'm just going to show you at a low anchor, but you could go high or middle, and tricep extensions. 8 chest flies, 15 tricep extensions. For tricep extensions, you have it through the door anchor if you're doing a door tricep extension. Lock those elbows in and extend, squeezing. The elbows don't move, and you should fry up the back of the arm if you're doing that right. So burn out those triceps. Chest fly, I'm going to show you the chest fly at this low anchor position. If you have trouble getting that upper fibers of the pecs engaged, if you're more, I can keep getting the lower chest engaged, but I can't get the upper, then do a low to high like I'm doing. And mind muscle connection, squeeze the pec across the top of that sternum and clavicular attachment of that pec. So we're squeezing, I'm driving my pinky, I'm standing perpendicular, I stretch the chest and squeeze across, stretch the chest and squeeze across. So you're going to do 8, maybe even 10 of the chest flies, and then 15 burning out those tricep extensions. That's just superset 1. You have 3 more supersets in this. So then you're going to do bicep curl. I don't care how you do the bicep curl. You're just going to sit there. You can do bands, dumbbells. You could do hammer curls. You could do a nice stretch at the bottom. However you want to target that bicep, mind muscle connection, and feel the pump, embrace the squeeze and stretch in that bicep, and then a back fly. So for this back fly, again, I'm going to show you a low to high, but feel free to do it any way you'd like. Again, I don't want to, so this is our back fly, shoulder blades back and down, pulling this back. I don't go so far back that my shoulders pull forward. That's counterproductive, and you'll feel the stretch here. I want it all there. And then I don't flare the ribs and arch my way back. So those are my 2 cues. If you have questions about back flies, reach out. I have so many programs that break down all these exercises step by step. And maybe you're just one program too advanced. I know the allure of doing an at-home program with some good resistance is great, but the bigger we build this foundation, the taller we can build our body. So build that building. So we got back flies and bicep curls. You're just going to do 1 set of all this. So you did tricep extension, 1 set. Chest fly, 1 set. Bicep curl, 1 set. Back fly, 1 set. Glute band bird dogs. Now, I have glute band because most people have these at home. You don't need it. It's a great investment. They got to be like, it's cheap as the exercise bands, maybe $20, maybe cheaper, $12. But the bird dog just looks like this. You're going to be in the quadruped position. This is a kickback. And if you're not used to doing this, this should become a morning staple. If you cannot find your glutes in this isolated hip extension movement, which is a kickback, then you're never going to find the glutes in a dynamic full body hip extension, like a squat. You're not using your strongest hip extender. You're using your hamstrings and back and quads to lift yourself up rather than your glutes. So again, I usually put a band around my knees, tight core, drive and squeeze, drive and squeeze, drive and squeeze. Now, the only way to make this a bird dog is to add this extra external rotation and scapular retraction in the opposite hand. This makes it a lot more core and stability. But I don't even want you to go there until you've mastered that kickback, but throw that in when you're ready. It's just 6 on one side, 6 on the other. Pause at the top, and then it's hip extension without back extension. Have someone watch you. If you keep finding your lower back fries up or your hamstring, then you're doing it wrong, and you need to adjust your kickback and then start throwing in that opposite arm retraction. And then side crunch with the leg lift. So I love this one just because it hits a lot of different things. So lay on your side. My bottom leg is slightly in front of my top leg. I'm laying on my side. I'm cheating with this elbow. My bottom elbow is here. My top hand is on my head. And I'm going to kick up and back with my top leg. And then I'm going to crunch together. Kick up and back, top leg, crunch together. I think part of the reason I don't have a number for that is just because it ranges so much. If you're frying up your glute med and abs at 8, great. If you're good at core, you might have to do 15. So 8 to 15 for that rep range. So that's glute band, bird dogs, and side crunch. And then the very last exercise in this full body day 3 is deceleration drill. You're going to run forward, chop your feet, and drop your center of gravity. You're going to do 5 on each side. So run forward, drop, and chop. Walk it back. Run forward, drop, and chop. My knees aren't caving in, so it's not here, it's out. I'm loading my glute, my hips are back, my chest is forward, and I chop towards the end. So you should feel your center of gravity drop as you come to change direction and chop your feet. So again, you'll do 5 on your right, then 5 with your left planting, 5 with your left planting. So that's a ton of different exercises, 2, 4, 6, 7 exercises on day 3, but they're smaller muscle groups, so it's not going to be nearly as big as deadlift to press like you see on day 1 or pull-ups or anything like that. So that's day 3. We've ran through it all. If you have any questions about the program, reach out to me. Again, I have tons of free programs on my website. If this isn't the one for you, reach out to me. If you have access to a whole gym or less equipment, again, I have programs for that. But if you want to run through this program, sign up. I'll have a link to my website in the description below. It's free. You're just going to do program library, sign up through there. And then, check out the website. Check out all the free programs I have on there. And then worst case scenario, if you're just lost with all the exercises and programs, give me a call. We'll do an assessment, and I'll figure out what free program works best for you. Thanks for watching, and good luck. Have fun. Stay consistent with this program. It's 4 days a week, body part splits, or 3 days a week, full body splits. It's totally up to you. Jot down your weights, jot down your reps, so you can progressively overload, you can track it. That's the benefit of following a program in the first place. Thank you. Good work.